Movies. We watch movies. You listen to us talk about movies that we watched without you.
It's beautiful.
Thanks.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Super FilmsCast 64. This is the podcast where we talk about movies and films, mostly films.
Trey, you don't usually say it like that, though.
Yeah, how do I say it?
You say it like, films. Gotta give the people what they want.
Gotta be really pretentious with the film.
Yeah.
I'm Robert Wolanski, and we don't talk about movies. We talk about films and who's in the city council and what great French-American battle in the Civil War is most like the Cowboys' secondary.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
that.
that. Like that, exactly.
Yeah, but movie.
Movies, films. So, today, we're going to be talking about Blade Runner 2049. We got Spencer here.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
It's good to have you back on the show. I'm glad you're back.
It's great to be here. Seat's
Yeah.
still warm.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Maybe, one of these days, you can be an official third host. But for now, it's your internship.
Well, from what I hear, I'm getting an email address.
Oh, really?
That's what the folks over at Super GamesCast 64 are saying. So I know interns get email addresses too sometimes.
I'm gonna have to talk to Austin about that. That might not be.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was coming from you.
Oh, really?
But I feel like I still gotta earn it. So it's up to the big boss man Trey to let me know if I'm.
If you have a funny joke, one joke per podcast, maybe we'll let you on one day. As
or
an
how many
official member.
How many podcasts I gotta go? How many jokes I gotta say? How many podcasts?
You gotta say how many, Adam? How many jokes does he have to say?
Really, all you need is one.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it just so happens I've got one.
All right. Let's hear it.
Yeah. What's your joke?
Why do bees have sticky hair?
Because why?
Because they got honeycombs. Stupid.
You could do a Super B cast with him.
B movie. We can review B movie.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'll take that email address now.
Okay. Coach Chucky. Anyway, what you guys been watching?
Trey, mostly I've been watching. I watched Blade Runner 2049. The newest version of the Blade Runner.
The new one, right? Or
Correct.
the old one?
No, the old one. The new one.
The new one, okay.
Yes, I watched the new one. I also have been watching Breaking Bad again.
Yeah.
And so just finished the 4th season, started up the 5th season. Yeah, this will be my third time. I think this is only going to be the 2nd time that I've watched the 5th season though. Okay. And then I watched Jerry Seinfeld's comedy special, which is okay.
It was okay. I hear he's not that great of a stand-up.
That's 100% false.
Really? Okay, I've heard that from some people. I haven't watched it. I've heard.
Like, I mean, it's safe.
Yeah.
And now, so people can be like, "Oh, it's not that great," but he's so good at stand-up. It's kind of ridiculous.
Who's your favorite stand-up comedian?
Currently?
Yeah, current and past.
Well, but I mean, like,
currently working and all time.
My favorite comedian, stand-up comedian right now, it's probably John Mulaney.
Okay.
I also really like Gerard Carmichael and Bo Burnham.
Did you enjoy the Kroll show?
I didn't like the show that much. There's really good bits. But yeah, like, I mean, Too Much Tuna is great, and I love all that, all the Oh Hello stuff. And then all-time comics, Steve Martin, probably.
Sure.
I know yours is probably Bill Cosby or something.
Wow, okay, that's an accusation, sir.
Trey, you're going to tell me right now if I go to your house, I'm not going to find Bill Cosby records?
I did have the CD where he talked about going to the dentist. He's like, I got the pudding pops in the and the drip, bippity bop.
Why would they have pudding pops at the dentist? That
I don't
seems
know, man. It's
that's
counterproductive. Yeah.
While we're on the topic of stand-up comedians,
Sure.
I was listening to. I know this is probably a bad word in here. I was listening to 105.3 The Fan.
Wow. Okay.
This week.
Okay.
I think it was this week. It was recently, and they had Jamie Kennedy in studio.
Yeah, he was at the Addison Improv.
Yeah, and I'm sure he killed it. And so, I guess Jamie Kennedy doesn't generally have a ton going on besides, he shows up and does Addison Improv every once in a while. But they were promoting a movie he has coming out called Ad Astra. He's in it. I wouldn't say he has a movie coming out, but it's starring Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones. It's got a solid cast, and then Jamie Kennedy's in there for some reason. It doesn't come out until 2019.
He's already promoting it?
They're promoting it, so...
Well, yeah, when you don't have a lot of stuff going on, you got to deal with the stuff you're working on now.
Yeah. What do you got? Well, I'm in pre-production on this.
I'm writing it, just writing it. It's
got
it's
some ideas.
It's going to be a thing.
Yeah, it'll be a thing for sure.
Brad Pitt is going to be in it. Don't worry about it.
His production company's all over it.
85% chance he doesn't back out.
Look, he's good for it. He's good. He's not that busy either.
Brad? I just call him Brad.
I'll call him Pitty. We kind of have fun nicknames with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I call him Marty. A lot of people do who know Scorsese. Just
a Score.
Yeah, Marty.
Score.
Just call him Score.
Hey, Score.
So Score. Does anyone call Martin Scorsese Score?
Yes.
I don't know.
One person.
I think someone's called him that before.
Probably some sort of Mexican soccer announcer.
Oh, okay.
The way they yell, Score!
Yeah, in English.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, indeed.
Spencer, what have you been watching?
I've been watching same thing I was watching last week, Good Place, which is still hilarious, Trey.
Sure, you can think that. You can think that all you want.
And
with their Subway Jared jokes are just hilarious.
Well, you don't even know that.
I saw the meme. That's what I'm
judging. Man, you saw text on an image. Man, you got to watch the film for television. And Nathan for You.
Mm-hmm.
And
with Nathan Field.
Mm-hmm. The old Nate Worm.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I've watched anything else besides Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah. That's kind of all I've watched. I watched some more of the Lego movie today, but not that much of it.
Still working your way through
the best way to watch a movie is to watch it over 2 weeks.
Segmented pieces.
And some of it every once in a while.
Yeah, and while I'm doing something else.
Yep.
I'm going to get it.
Films are like books in a lot of ways.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of ways.
It's like watching a very short TV show.
Yeah. I typically, I buy the DVD, I go to the scene selector, and I just knock out a scene a night.
Yeah, that's how you do it. I got a question for you guys. How many movies do you think you've seen in your lifetime? Or think you've seen 1,000 movies?
I don't think I've seen 1,000 movies.
I don't think so.
I don't even know if there are 1,000 movies.
There are.
Just kidding. I worked at Blockbuster. I know there were 1,000 in there at least.
Because I was looking at the Box Office Mojo kind of by year, and they listed how many movies came out that year, and every year it was like 500 movies came out that year.
Yeah,
released.
I'm not seeing.
Yeah, that'd be every single thing that was released.
Yeah, but I mean, in your lifetime,
I've probably seen, I would say, 300.
300?
Think about this. Obviously you can go back and watch a lot of old movies, but just in theaters, seeing a movie a week in theaters is a pretty good clip.
That's 52.
So
52.
So maybe I've seen more than 300.
Well, all right, so 52 movies, so maybe a movie a week. Let's do the math here. Let's do the research online like we did.
But that's also a lot.
That is a lot. So maybe 30 movies a month. Well, that's every day.
30 movies a month?
Okay, wait a minute. 52.
52 weeks in a year. I would say 30 movies a year is probably not that crazy.
30 movies a year. So 30 times... I'd even say more. All right, 30 times...
I mean, it's probably more, but...
25. How old are you guys? 25?
26.
26.
25.
780 movies. That's if you do see 30 years, 780. So
Yeah,
but think about like the first. You're not counting the first 5 years of your life. You watch Pocahontas every day for like every
I don't know.
week.
I mean,
wait, does this mean 1,000 unique movies?
Yes, unique movies.
Okay.
Unique movies.
I don't think I've seen 1,000 yet.
I probably don't think I've seen 1,000.
I don't think it's impossible for someone to see 1,000 by our age, but I don't think I have.
I don't know. I might have. I've seen a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet, Adam, you've seen more than I have, though.
I don't know. I think you've seen a lot more like 80s movies than I have.
Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot in the past 2 years, but there was maybe a span of like 3 or 4 years where I didn't watch much in the last few years. But high school, though, was a lot different. I was watching like 3 movies a weekend. So I don't know.
That's a lot.
I think let's just go through check off every movie we have seen.
Yeah.
All right. Lion King.
Seen it.
I can't think of any more.
Yeah, that's
Lion
all the
King,
movies.
Lion King 2.
Okay.
I've not seen that one.
Lion King 1.5.
I've seen that.
I've
Got it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
It. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Well, that's one.
I saw both It's.
Oh, so 2.
Well, but one of them wasn't a movie.
Oh, you're right. That you can't count.
Sorry, I
that.
can't count it.
Ooh, you're right. But
Adam,
well, the second you put it on VHS, is it not a movie?
No.
No,
still a
because
TV
when you put it-
miniseries.
yeah.
Yeah, because they have
Yeah.
movies on DVD.
Yeah.
What is
They
your
do
argument
have
there?
They do have movies on DVD.
I mean, I meant to say
This
TV
changes-
shows on DVD.
This changes everything, Trey.
I'm starting to realize I misspeak a lot, and my brain is thinking something else than what I'm saying.
You know who else misspeaks a lot?
Kirk.
The president.
Oh.
Oh no!
Wow.
We're gonna get some biting. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of my drink. You go off on the president.
So the president's constantly misspeaking.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Does this fool not know that that's a U.S. territory? Geesh.
I don't think he does. I don't think he knows a lot. This isn't a political show.
All right. You guys want to get into some news?
Let's get into some news.
All right. Starting off, box office this weekend. Blade Runner 2049.
It killed the records.
$31.5 million.
Ooh.
Not great. $150 million budget.
Mm-hmm. Spencer, what did you do?
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Very disappointing, but not surprising because this is, it's a cult classic and influential for filmmakers, but the general audience probably does not care about a sequel to a movie they didn't see.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I think most people generally knee-jerk reaction is that like, oh, sequel is bad, and the fact that Blade Runner is kind of hard to explain because it's not like, oh wow, it's a cool like sci-fi shoot 'em up, even though this new one maybe more so.
Not eaten still though, like not too much action. A little bit more though.
There's definitely more in the new one than the old one. So it's kind of hard to come to grips with it. It's not something that like, I feel it's big for a film audience, but it's not like, because Ghostbusters I think is something that a lot of people our age watched or something like that, and so remaking that kind of makes sense because then you get the kids who are the ones that generally go to these sort of things. Blade Runner I don't think had that sort of attachment to it.
Right.
It's easier to explain Ghostbusters than it is Blade Runner. It's easier to explain to audiences, especially younger audiences who don't know what Blade Runner is. It's easier to say, hey, Ghostbusters. Well, also, I think Ghostbusters has more of a pop culture imprint.
Oh, for sure.
But it's easier to explain. Oh, yeah, they bust ghosts. They catch ghosts in vacuum packs. And, okay, well, this is a story about humanity and dystopia in L.A. It's more convoluted of a story.
I realize I said disappointed, but honestly, this movie not doing well in the box office is not that disappointing because a poor box office showing pretty just means they're not going to make another Blade Runner movie, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling is still going to get movies. I don't know how to say the director's name.
Villanueva?
Is it?
I think it's Villanueva. But
Villanueva. That's
Villanueva.
right. He's still going to make movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if this got a decent amount of good award reception.
Yes.
Right.
Not necessarily for movies, but like not for like Best Picture or anything, but
For visual effects.
visual effects
sound.
and all that sort of thing. And so he's gonna come out of it fine.
I bet
Yeah.
you'll be nominated because they do the 10 now or 8 sometimes. I bet you he gets like the 8 or 9 spot.
I would be very surprised if it got nominated.
Really?
Yes, I would be very surprised.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, do science fiction films typically
Arrival
don't get...
got nominated last year.
Arrival was an original story, though.
Yeah.
When you mix in that it's a sequel and all that sort of thing, like
Mad Max got nominated last year. So, but Mad Max was
That's-
a big box office success.
right.
Yeah, and that's a little bit different. It's still, I guess, is in the same family of science fiction, but it's not nearly as like down the science side as it is more like an action
Yeah.
focused
Mm-hmm.
film.
All right. Plenty more Blade Runner talk coming up.
Yeah.
The Mountain Between Us made 10.1 million.
I hear
That
that wasn't
came out?
good. Yeah.
And it made 9.6. So it is still making a ton of money.
I saw there what this is. You might have the story, and I apologize if I'm stepping on your toes, but this is the worst summer in how long? 10 years. Worst summer box office.
It's generally been pretty bad. Because they're having all the tentpole stuff. It either became before or after,
Mhm.
and then like Guardians of the Galaxy didn't do as well as they expected, and a lot of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, not surprised. On to news stuff. Harvey Weinstein fired for being a real big creep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, what's there to say?
Good
He's a creep.
riddance.
Yeah, he's a creep, and he.
Yeah.
So if you haven't
This'll
seen, he was
change
basically
Hollywood.
just kind of forcing people to sexual favors to
Mhm.
advance careers and stuff like that. And 30 Rock did a joke about it a long time ago.
Really?
Where Jenna at one point is like, I'm not afraid of anyone in Hollywood. I've turned down Harvey Weinstein for sex 3 times. And his stuff was kind of like generally well known.
Mm-hmm.
Also, 30 Rock did Bill Cosby stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're 2 for 2. So go back
There you
through
go.
30 Rock
Yeah.
and keep an eye on who
No, don't watch.
on who they're ripping on, because
Wait, what's the joke?
oh,
there?
you don't remember the Spencer Hall episode?
Oh no!
I keep on getting these DMs from Coach Chucky. Didn't happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never watched 30 Rock. I tried to watch a few episodes. I couldn't get into it.
30 Rock's it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be gone off Netflix now. I think it already is actually.
Oh, that's
So-
why I got BitTorrent.
All
for
right.
that
Well,
stuff.
if you want to, I think it's a ton of fun and it's really well written.
Okay.
And also, you can find out who is the next giant career that will
I want
collapse.
to. Yeah. That's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Bob's Burgers movie coming out in 2020,
Okay.
and Psych, the movie.
Oh gosh, you know who's going to be pumped about that? My freshman year roommate
Oh.
was the
He's a
biggest
big
Psych
fan.
fan. Biggest Psych fan. Psych and Diet Sunkissed.
Diet Sunkissed.
I that's kind of good because I would describe Psych as the Diet Sunkissed of television.
I don't think I've ever watched Psych. What is that about?
It's more like Psych because
Yeah.
it's got the exclamation.
Yeah, so you know The Mentalist.
Yeah, The Mentalist.
So the Mentalist, the
Sure.
most famous show that only your grandma watches. It's basically, isn't it the one?
Is that
Mentalist
like
is the one where
Numbers?
he's like he can see the future.
I think that's Numbers.
No, that's not Numbers. Numbers is where he does the math.
Mm.
Anyway, there's some CBS. Lexi's telling me it's not.
No.
The Mentalist does other things. There was some other
Lexi?
show where they could see into the future and basically precogs do the whole Minority Report thing, and then there's one where Sarah Jessica Parker could like talk to
Horses?
dead people.
Oh.
Not Sarah Jessica Parker. Jennifer Love Hewitt, right? Yeah, one 3-name actress. And so Psych is basically making fun of that, where this guy pretends to be Medium is the show. That's what it was.
Medium.
One guy is pretending to be like a psychic, and the other one is like actually a detective. These are things
Yes.
I've gleaned from
It's just like a
television commercials.
This is like Chuck.
It's not like Chuck. Chuck worked he's part of the Geek Squad.
Yeah.
Isn't that so funny?
It's hilarious.
Geek Squad. That's
Yeah.
just a funny thing to say.
Uh-huh.
Boy,
Is it like
knee
Dexter?
slapping. It's not like any of those.
Is it like The Good
Burn
Patient-
Notice?
Burn Notice. That's another one.
No.
The Mentalist.
Gosh. We're just talking about so many shows that I have never watched. Right.
I watched Dexter up until a point. I think once they made it that his sister was really in love with him, I stopped watching because it was stupid.
I mean, we
That
can
point.
all relate to that. That's probably like, right?
Any more news?
Netflix is going to start seeking out risky movies stuck in development hell. So it's movies that,
It's like Kickstarter.
well, yeah,
way.
basically, except they're an enormous platform that can give them
Mhm.
everything they need right
Yeah.
away. And apparently it's how the guy who made, whatever, Tucker and Dale versus Evil,
Mm-hmm.
that's how he got his second movie, is something similar.
What movies are they going to do? I guess.
Well, like, I don't know. What do you?
Oh, I didn't know if you had a list.
Oh,
of
no, no,
those
no.
examples.
But basically, they're just going to target movies that studios are like, well, we like this, but we don't know how to advertise it. We don't know if it's going to make any money.
Mhm.
We don't know how to do it. And so Netflix will just take it and say, all right, we'll do whatever, because it doesn't matter to them
yeah.
as much in that. In
Are
that
they
same
making
vein.
money?
No.
No?
Well, like they're making money, but they haven't been profitable, I think, ever.
Mm-hmm.
But that, like in that world, profitability is not
It's not necessarily what
Not-
matters.
right. It's like it's the
So
opportunity to be
interesting.
profitable eventually.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, if there's one thing I've always thought is that Netflix needs to be putting out more content because, gosh, there's just not enough Netflix originals right now.
Nope.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that they put out that you're just like,
I don't know which, like,
it's too much to keep up with.
right. It's like, I don't know. I mean, there are some things that they clearly market as like their flagship
Right.
kind of shows or movies, like this Mindhunter. Like,
Yeah.
it looks
Comes
really,
out
really
next week.
cool, and they're advertising it really
Is that
heavily.
is that the Twin Peaksy kind of one coming out?
Kind of.
kinda,
It's
I guess.
it's about the
Serial killers, right?
Yeah, it's the FBI.
Oh, okay, I'm thinking of something else.
It's like
Okay.
the FBI investigators who basically write the book on kind of analyzing the brains of serial killers.
Oh,
Like they come
interesting.
up with the term serial. They're the guys who came up with the
Oh,
term
really?
serial
Okay.
killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It looks super
I
interesting.
like serial killers, so I'm into that.
Hey, I like Columbine.
I know. I like serial killers. You like Columbine. What do you like, Chucky?
You know, like
Do you like being
good
called
stu-
Chucky?
a good steak.
A good steak?
Hmm.
I don't mean to call you Chucky. I just
You can call me
that's-
Chucky all you
okay.
want.
Chuck, Chucky. Okay.
Any of it.
I'll
It's
do that.
not Spence.
Spence. Yeah, that's a douchey kind of name.
Yeah.
Sorry. Spencer is fine, but Spence. That's kind of dumb.
No, and I have a coworker who calls me Mike Spence, and I loathe that. It's because it's clever.
I like Chuck though. I like the name Chuck. What's up, Chuck?
Chuck's cool.
Yeah.
Like from that TV show.
Yeah, I like Chuck.
Yeah. $2 Chuck.
Yeah.
That was my nickname in high school.
Oh.
Whoa.
Because I always had $2 on me.
One
that's-
$2 bill, his lucky $2 bill.
Yeah. Everyone knew about that $2 bill. And then
Yeah.
one day it got lost, and they made a documentary about it.
AMC's doing $5 tickets every Tuesday in October.
Cool.
You just met like all day Tuesday?
I think so.
Nice.
Nice.
Alamo Drafthouse already does this.
Mm-hmm.
They
Oh.
have,
Screw you, AMC.
Yeah.
yeah, they have, and it's all the time. It's Taco Tuesday is what they call it. Hello, Lexi.
Hey, Lexi.
I bet it's probably just for regular movies, probably not also in the comfy chairs. But I don't know. I could look it up, but I'm not going to.
Lexi likes the comfy chairs. We can talk more about that later.
Oh.
You know what, man? I don't know if I can go back to the regular chairs. I like the comfy chairs,
Oh man.
dude.
See, I enjoy the chairs. I don't like the chairs and eating.
No, I agree with you.
Oh.
That don't
Being
need-
reclined and like eating is a disaster.
You don't need to shove your face for every movie you see, Adam. You
Well,
know?
Mhm.
I am not a big fan of dinner, like the dining
right.
at the movie. It's
Yeah.
too dark.
Yeah, it's dark.
I don't trust that they're giving me
Mhm.
what I ordered.
Right.
I could dip into some honey mustard and thinking it was barbecue sauce
You can't really do anything about it. either.
ruins the whole movie.
And I think the whole popcorn thing, it gets too much at times.
Oh no, I love eating popcorn.
It gets the mouth
I don't
gets
like-
all
I don't
popcorn
like-
mouth.
Eating a meal.
Oh yeah, I know.
Did you know that people, like in the early days of theaters, they used to eat deviled eggs?
Let's bring that back.
Gross.
Let's just have a plate of
Microwave
great
tuna. Microwave
deviled
tuna would
eggs.
be good too.
You know, I would like something because I like the theater that has like a nice kind of restaurant adjacent. You know, you can get maybe a sandwich or some chicken tendies or some nugs. But like, I went to see Blade Runner again at a Cinemark, and it was like a smaller one in Denton, and they had like I was hungover as crap, and I had to get 2 hot dogs because there was nothing else. I didn't want popcorn.
Yeah.
I needed something.
I will eat a hot dog in a movie. That's so
gross.
That's
though.
it's not. I mean,
Dude, they
like,
wash those hot dogs off. They save them for days. I used to work in a Cinemark.
That's fine. It's a hot dog.
They're nice and shiny. That's how you know they're good.
There was no ketchup and mustard either. You just had the hot dog. So I shoved 2 hot dogs in my mouth and ate it.
Like 2 bites total.
Just shoved them.
Kobayashi style.
Yep, like Kobayashi.
May he rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Rush Hour 4 is happening, and it's going to start shooting in 2018.
Sweet.
There's a picture of Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan
They're really
standing
old
next
now?
to each other.
Thank God. I'm just waiting for that Chris Tucker cameo in The Fugitive.
Oh, yeah.
Not The Fugitive.
The Foreigner.
The Foreigner.
Should be in there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do my Chris Tucker impression. I was about to. I'm not going to anymore.
Oh, okay.
Keep going with stories.
Bill and Ted 3 is going to be named Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. Hey, I gave you that list. We need to go through that list of all the sequels and remakes and reboots that are coming out. I mean, we could find it now, or we could do it later. I know you're probably tired, so we could probably do it some other time.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe it won't be awful though.
I mean, who knows?
I need to see the trailer before I can say anything, because Face the Music, that are they like going back in time and getting like Beethoven and then like bringing Freddie Mercury back from the dead?
Dio.
Bring back Dio.
Dude, they have
Holy Diver.
They got what's that guy's name? Who's playing Freddie Mercury in the movie?
Rami
it's Rami Malek, Mr. Robot.
What if they get Rami Malek and in the Bill and Ted as Freddie Mercury?
So Rami Malek has he has 2 credits as Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
There's a series of dead musician movies, and you have a universe, and then it all ends in Bill and Ted Face the Music in some sort of Avengers style. You got Jim Morrison.
You got
Jimi
John
Hendrix.
Weinstein's got a lot of time on his hands now. Call him up.
Yeah.
You got an idea to
Get
save his
everybody-
career.
Get Javi on the phone.
Well, there'll be a band. There's going to be 8 guitarists, and it'll
No
be great.
drummers.
Yeah.
No bassists.
Neil Peart.
Yeah. No bassists though. Get the Led Zeppelin.
But Neil Peart is very much alive.
Yeah, but Neil Peart he's going to be dead by the time we get to this movie.
Get
Keith
the Led
Moon?
Zeppelin drummer.
You do Keith Moon. Oh yeah, John Bonham.
Yeah,
Keith
he's
Moon. Who are some other famous? The Who drum, not the Who.
Grateful
That's
Dead?
Keith Moon.
Def Leppard drummer should be dead.
It could just be his hand.
Phil Collins.
His one hand.
Yeah, like from Idol. What's that movie with the hand that's possessed
Addams
by the devil?
Family.
Adam's Family?
No, it's Idle Hands. I think.
No, right, where it's the hand of the killer or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's just there, just drumming.
Yeah.
All right. This is a good movie. We'll do this.
What's
the first movie, I guess? I guess it's the Freddie Mercury
What's the
movie.
first movie? It's the train
Freddie
that's coming at
Mercury
the
movie.
screen.
Yeah.
People were so startled.
Yeah. It's
I tell you, I wanted to
Thomas
make
Edison.
I've always wanted to do
is
like
that
a
horse.
Beatles biopic. I always
You mean like those movies that the Beatles?
Oh, I know. We could call it A Hard Day's Night.
Yellow Submarine.
They're so mean to me, Lexi. They just tease me. Such bullies.
What would John Lennon say about that, Craig?
He would
Imagine.
You gotta stop being bullies to your friend.
Oh. I didn't know that's good. I like that. This is Worlds Colliding.
Uh-oh.
Live action / CGI Sonic movie in the works.
Yeah, you gotta go fast. Does he kiss the girl in this one? Does he kiss the human girl? Is this Sonic 06?
I don't know.
He kisses the human girl?
I don't know.
Everyone
I'll
needs
take your
to
word
see Sonic kissing a human girl.
Wait, there have been at least one Sonic movie,
There was a
There's
lot
been
of
cartoons,
animated
yeah.
cartoon stuff.
and this is another animated or this is?
It is live action /
action.
CGI.
So did they watch that YouTube video, that really sad one with the depressed Sonic, and people like this?
I want it to be my roommate Sonic.
Let's make it an hour and a
my
half.
roommate Sonic is the best. It needs to be my roommate Sonic. I hope Sonic kisses human girls because that's what we need in this world now. Is Sonic just trash? I love Sonic.
Whoa.
He's the best.
Sonic
he has to go
trash.
fast, Adam.
I like the
He
corn
has
dogs.
to go fast.
Yeah.
Sonic's got great corn dogs.
He does like it. He likes chili dogs.
And he also likes
Conies.
rings.
He does. He's got to get those rings.
Onion rings.
Jared Leto to star as Hugh Hefner in a movie.
Not
the body
surprised.
not even cold.
Not surprised.
No, yeah. Dead Hugh Hefner, Lexi
Dead
says.
Hugh Hefner.
So he doesn't actually have
The
a
movie picks up the
That's
day of
after his death.
the day of his funeral.
It's like Citizen Kane, where it's just kind of about his death. Who was
Wow.
Hugh Hefner?
Well, I've not seen Citizen Kane.
I can't
There
wait.
was an inscription on the last words he says were titties. And titties was the name of a sled. You know, that's the whole thing.
Wait, are you insinuating that the Playboy bunnies were slaves?
I said, yeah, no.
What?
Oh?
I
Slaves
can't.
to love.
I just can't wait for the reveal of like the rabbit. Like he's a child and he like sees a rabbit and he's like,
Whoa.
I'm into this.
No,
Ooh,
he falls
horny
in-
likes rabbit. These rabbits like to fuck? I like to fuck. I'm going to make this rabbit my logo.
He falls into a well just full of rabbits, and he's so scared of rabbits,
Yeah.
but he
Right.
faces his fear.
He has to address
Yeah.
his fear.
And white trash everywhere will have this tattooed on their bodies for
Yeah.
some reason.
Yeah. He has the hue.
The Rock and Jason Statham's Fast and Furious spin-off gets a release date. It's in 2019. Fast 9 gets pushed back
I heard.
to 2020. And now Tyrese and The Rock, this has actually been going on for a long time, they're talking shit on Instagram, specifically Tyrese. Tyrese is not holding back.
No.
He's going on Instagram talking about how the Fast family, and we're a family, and going off on your own makes you garbage.
And I'm really conflicted with this battle. I do not know which side to take because I am all for the Rock and Statham spinoff. That's going to be great. But family.
It's about
comes
family.
first.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows it's about family.
Everything you got to do is for the family. And now you're going off? You're leaving the nest? Okay. Call yourself Franchise Viagra, and then you go off and do your own little spinoff. Hobbs.
Man, what I would have killed to have been a fly on the wall during production of Fate of the Furious just to see Vin and Dwayne just bowing up to one another, constantly posturing.
He's going to be our president. That man's going to be our president.
That's true.
He is.
So maybe none of this will matter.
No.
Upcoming movies. The Foreigner, aforementioned, comes out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie Chan going off. I'm into this. This may be our last Jackie Chan
He's back.
action movie.
The
Before he
original
dies?
Tom Cruise.
Can never be for sure.
Yeah, he might die tomorrow.
Well, not that he might die, but he can only do things for so long.
Yeah, he's getting old. He's getting up there.
Yeah.
You forget a lot of these actors are that old. Like Harrison Ford is like he's older than Norm.
Yeah, I'm really not.
know?
I'd never forgot that Harrison Ford was old.
But you see, those old, you see the older movies, and you're like, holy crap, he's 75 now.
Yeah.
And you
No,
think
yeah,
he
I
was
see
so
what you're
young in
saying.
80s
Yeah.
movies, and
Right.
then
Right.
so much time has. You forget how much time has
I
passed.
mean, yeah. I mean, I've only been known like as far as new films, old Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. When you watch like old Blade Runner, you're like, holy smokes, it's
Yeah.
crazy that he's had such a long career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sad that people die.
Happy Death Day is also coming out. You get it. It's like birthday, but it's like there's a cake,
Yeah.
and it's like birthday, but it's your death day. You see.
I will
It's
say,
like Groundhog Day.
You
as
know,
well.
I'm not expecting that to be a great movie. I'm interested in the premise.
Because it's sort of like Groundhog Day, where
it's going to be.
reliving it.
It seems like it's not taking itself so seriously.
Right.
Will be a little bit campy.
It's like the most October movie I could ever think
Right.
of, where it's like we're gonna do this thing, and it's just people loving being all about spooking teens who are like, oh, it's time to see a spooky movie. It's close to Halloween.
Well, that's a point when we get into Blade Runner. I think I asked the question about it. Why is it so successful and Blade Runner not? And it's because horror sells.
It does.
And I watched this video by Chris Stuckman, who's a YouTuber I really enjoy, and he did a whole video about sort of how we forgot what good horror is. And, you know, these audiences go into a movie like The Babadook or It Follows, and they hate it, and it gets panned because they're not doing the jump scare thing that we're so accustomed to. It's very thoughtful and and people kind of they just want to be jump scares. They just want to be scared with just noises, just the cheapest scares in the world. And these movies make a bunch of money. And a lot of these movies are done very inexpensively.
Yep.
You know, a few $1,000s and they get millions of dollars. Like the Chernobyl Diaries got like $100 million or something crazy, you know, in profit. So, yeah, these movies do well.
Those movies also sell well overseas.
Yes.
Which is just another market that people are trying to constantly
and that's after. A whole another discussion with the Chinese market and what's going on over there with our movies and how our movies are being affected by the Chinese. And you know, if you watched Independence Day last year, a lot of Chinese propaganda in that movie. Not propaganda. I guess it's sort of propaganda.
You did just say like 10 minutes ago, this is not a political podcast.
No, it's not. I'm not talking about politics. This isn't politics. This is...
Oh, no, it's just that movie.
Just geopolitics.
Oh, it's just talking about Independence Day as Chinese propaganda.
Well, they said a few times, thank God for the Chinese. I mean, it's being molded to be good for a Chinese audience as well as an American audience.
Yep.
So maybe I didn't mean propaganda as in like...
Right.
You know, but maybe more... It's
Chinese
influenced. Jerk. Yeah, influenced by the Chinese.
Marshall. It's coming out.
What's that?
It's about Thurgood Marshall and his fight to become the first African-American Supreme Court justice.
Is that the sequel to We Are Marshall?
No, he is Marshall.
What else is coming out, Adam?
Marshall, it actually, like, the story's a really cool story, but the trailer is so bad, and it's so like, it's like trying to be another Selma or something like that, but they're taking kind of the worst parts from that, where it's like trying to be that uprising and cool tale, but they're also doing a lot of weird pandering stuff that, like in the trailer, which does not give me good feelings. But that movie could be okay, and I wouldn't be totally surprised. And then Goodbye, Christopher Robin.
Yeah, I've heard about that one. That's about the guy who wrote Winnie the Pooh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A biopic.
And that's what I got.
Cool. Awesome. We gonna talk about Blade Runner?
I'm ready to talk about Blade Runner.
So do we want to do maybe a non-spoiler, then say we're gonna do spoilers here, or how do you want to do it? Because we didn't really talk about that to go in.
I would say I don't know how much fun it would be to talk about this movie as a spoiler free.
I think we talk spoilers always.
Okay, yeah. If that's how you guys want to do it.
Yep.
We'll talk spoilers then. So let's I guess get our initial reactions. We all did a Blade Runner review last week, so we all went into it having seen the movie. And so what did you guys... The original movie. And so what did you guys think about this one?
Overall, very positive, I would say. It's not a perfect movie, and I can see a lot of people are saying it's kind of empty. And I guess I kind of get that. There's a lot of complaints that it's too long, too, which I don't as much, just because I think it's engaging. I think kind of like the first one, I talked about how gorgeous it is. This is also gorgeous. More in just like amazing cinematography, and Denis Villeneuve is like so great. He's so good, knows exactly what he's doing, and I don't know, I would put him up against anybody going right now as a director. So overall, I thought it was really good and a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I thought just the use of color and the use of sound was fantastic. It was very much different from the original Blade Runner.
Yes.
Just in tone, the music was vastly different, which was at first kind of. I was thinking about it a bunch, and it almost took me out of it. I was like, it's as soon as you start to hear the kind of the Inception kind of whomps, like those loud strings, real bassy tones, and you realize, oh, this is not going to be the same kind of noir feel.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Kind of catches you off guard, but it was still executed so well that by 30 minutes in, I was just hooked, and I wasn't really bothered by the length because I was engaged the entire time.
Right.
So I saw this movie twice. I saw it with you, Adam, on Friday.
Correct.
And I saw it on Saturday with another friend of mine.
Okay.
And I agree. It did not feel like a 3 hour and 40 minute or 2 hour and 40 minute movie. It did not feel as long.
I wouldn't say that it doesn't feel long. I think it does feel long. But I feel like it's a more justified long movie.
Yes.
And I'll talk on a few places where I think that they probably could have cut some things.
Uh-huh.
But overall, I'm not like, it's not enough. A lot of people are saying, oh, wow, like, you can't do that. You can't have a movie that long. No, why? I'm paying.
It was 30 minutes less than this movie, and I think it suffered more from
length.
overlong sequences and stuff like that, and too many sequences maybe.
Right. It's more about pace than it is about like runtime.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Anyway, continue, Trey.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed the look of it. It's beautiful. I could see it 4 more times. Not 4, maybe like 2 or 3 more times. And I agree.
But definitely not 4.
Not 4. No, hell no. Maybe 3 or maybe 2.
Could I pay you to see it a 4th time?
You could pay me to see it a 4th time. I'm probably gonna go see it with the. You can pay me, yeah.
Stiff
I'm sure. I'm
negotiator.
Yeah.
The negotiations were short.
All right, sorry. Go on.
So yeah, there were some. I was talking with my buddy last night, and there were some kind of questions I had about the plot. Some things didn't necessarily add up.
Well, let's get to it.
Okay, so
unless we want to go through linearly,
maybe we could do linear. Oh, do you not want to do it that way?
It's just kind of hard to kind of remember all that all the things and as they happen.
I'll just kind of talk overall for a second.
Go for it.
I thought it did a good job of paying tribute to the original while being a serviceable sequel.
Yes.
And being its own thing. Because it could have done the Force Awakens thing where it's the same plot and the same character archetypes, and you have Harrison Ford, kind of reciting lines, and you have another Tears in Rain speech, you have a lot of the same music, a lot of the same cues.
Yep.
It didn't do that at all. But the things it did do were very smart. I thought they did a very smart retcon with a line that Terrell said about Rachel, and they used that in the plot, and I thought that was very smartly done.
Saying that she's special.
Yes, she's special, and what does that really mean? And we know what that means now.
Yep.
I thought that was a very cool thing they did, because sometimes retcons can get really bad. Look at, anytime someone adds a brother in the 4th movie or 4th thing, then, you didn't mention him for 3 movies. Why is he in the 4th? But this was very well done. A lot of the music cues at the end, you kind of hear the old Blade Runner theme when he dies. I thought that was really cool. You hear that.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some just visual lighting cues because the lighting was very different because it was more flat in this. The lighting was very flat, where in
the other one, there's a lot of like light bursts coming in from behind, and
But when you're in the chamber, in Jared Leto, what's his name, Wayland's chamber, Wallace's chamber, it's sort of that more flowing light. It looks sort of like the Tyrell Corp. reflection from the water. I thought, the cinematography was amazing. And when I say I could see it multiple times, it's for that. It's for seeing these humongous skyscrapers and just these, it looked like the city was overrun, overpopulated cities, and just these amazing shots. And there was a lot more variety, I thought, of locations in this that were just beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot more whites, a lot more. And then you had the orange of I guess it wasn't called Vegas, it was called Pleasureland or something. But it was supposed to be Las Vegas.
It was supposed to be Vegas, yeah.
But it reminded me of Fallout, like just totally like Fallout, and just the color palette and just it was incredible. The way they shot it was incredible, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. The plot was. I had some questions. I really liked Ryan Gosling's character. I really liked that they made him a replicant from the start.
And they came out and told you.
Yes.
Whereas obviously the original, people are still debating it.
Yeah.
Right.
But they come out first scene.
And he's a replicant.
Yeah.
And it's also, it's almost a flip of the other, of the original Blade Runner, where it's, kind of like, well, what is it to be human? Okay, and this is more like, all right, what is it to be inhuman, almost? Where it's just like analyzing the same problem from a different point of view, almost, which I think is a really cool thing to do.
And I also really liked the artificial intelligent girlfriend, where it was pretty much just something. It wasn't. It was fake. She was there to please him, to say yes, be there just to please him. That's all she's there for, and that's his relationship with her. And it's showing that he is so alone that he doesn't want anything real. The only thing he wants is an artificial relationship. Like, that's how alone he feels in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I liked it a lot as a concept. I thought that was a kind of a cool thing to do. I wasn't sure if, when her name's Joy, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Whenever she is in this little emulator and she gets stomped on and she's gone forever.
Right.
I didn't feel like a huge emotional loss from that.
Right.
Which, again, I'm not sure if that's intentional or if you're supposed to feel a lot. Like,
I think you definitely are.
Because they kind of talk like, they tell you like, if I'm gone, I'm gone because of this. Which it's a lot like Her.
Yes.
In a lot of ways.
Very derivative. It was almost like they watched Her and then they were like, okay, I have some different ideas for effects that we can do to make it really interesting. And those effects, by the way,
very unsettling.
So cool. When she's in the rain that's awesome.
Yes. And when she's sequencing or whatever with
that was such a just unsettling scene.
But
it was great,
cool.
but it was
so cool. But obviously Her has an entire movie to develop that relationship.
Right.
Whereas I really liked Her, and I thought like when they have their breakup or whatever happens at the end of Her, like I feel it, I'm emotionally invested in it by then. Whereas they didn't have that same connection to their relationship.
Yeah, it's a subplot that it's supposed to be his, as opposed to him having a, real girlfriend or whatever and real stakes. And it's kind of something that's hard to do because he never like saves it from falling off of something else or anything. It's like you go and he has it with him, but the very first time you see it kind of exposed, it immediately gets destroyed. It's not like something that he's constantly fighting to kind of save or protect or something like that.
So, Trey, what were your other questions that you had about the plot?
All right, so sort of the plot is that they find these sets of bones that were buried by a tree.
Right.
Where, I forgot his name.
Dave Bautista.
And he is fucking phenomenal.
He's so good.
He is really good.
It's crazy because he's so big.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're gonna be like this on the down low, replicant who's supposed to be, kind of like
Shrek
hiding. Yeah. It's like, oh, look for the guy who's built like a freaking mountain out in the middle of nowhere. Also, in the first movie, they come in. It's like the first scene. They have Tyrell with his enormous glasses.
Yes, yeah.
Dave Bautista has
Tiny
tiny little glasses. He's got little glasses that barely fit on his big old head.
And he wears them for all of 5 seconds. He's like, puts them on immediately. Yeah. All right, taking these back off.
No, he was phenomenal. But they find the bones, and it is revealed that these bones belong to a pregnant woman, and she had childbirth, and they find out that these were replicant. And I figured the second it was a replicant, I knew it was Rachel. Like the second, right? Did you guys figure that out?
I wasn't totally.
I wasn't sure, but I
definitely got there very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know if when I thought of it right away, I thought that it was Rachel.
Okay.
But yeah.
But it's you would figure. And I think the plot was somewhat predictable, but I enjoyed it. Like, I liked where it went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I could kind of figure, except for the twist where it's revealed that Ryan Gosling was not the child. It was someone else.
I thought that was pretty well done.
Yeah, I thought that was well done too, because it's sort of the whole, I'm special. Everyone wants to be special, then you realize you're not. And he's just a guy. Yeah. But he does spectacular things, but
you go on and you still do what you were planning on doing.
Yeah. So they find out she was pregnant, had a baby, and then she kind of is going through this whole conspiracy almost.
Uh-huh.
And I guess my question was, how did they pick him, of all people,
to go after it?
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of their best person, and he's the one that Robin Wright trusts the most.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's almost like when the bad lady comes in, the main bad lady comes in and talks to Robin Wright, it's just like, oh, how he's not lying to you?
Well, I'm mainly talking about the memory. So why did they put that memory in him specifically?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Of the tree and the
why
horse.
Did the replicants implant those memories?
Into him.
I wonder how many people have it, because when they go to Edward James Olmos, who's dressed up like Colonel Sanders, like he's auditioning to be the new spicy New Orleans
real meal deal for $5.
Yeah, in 2049 they've gone through all comedians, and now they're to Edward James Olmos to sell chicken.
The funniest comedian of them all.
He because he makes the horse in the origami, right?
It was like a
unicorn.
No, in the movie it was like a buffalo or something.
Right.
It didn't. I don't think it was a horse.
It was a little bit beefer.
It was like
beefier.
Because I thought thinking back on it, once the horse was starting, I was trying to remember what exactly he made, and I thought he made the horse.
Maybe he did. I thought it was like a wildebeest or something, kind of bigger.
I mean, it wouldn't have been his memory anyway, because it was made by the girl, right?
And how long was she making memories? If she was put in there from the start.
When she was 8.
Yeah. Like, how long has she been doing these memories and putting them in people's minds? And how did they figure out that she was the daughter? That was what I was confused about. How did he come to the conclusion that she was the daughter?
Who?
The dream maker.
No,
how did Ryan Gosling come to the conclusion that she was Harrison Ford's daughter?
I think when she says that that's not your memory,
right?
And then he thinks like, oh, someone lived this.
Right.
I think it's just,
and
we have her in a safe place. It all kind of,
yeah. He's like, yeah. It's like she says all the best memories are real, or whatever, and I guess he just kind of realizes that, oh, okay, well, if it's not my memory, then
I thought she said it was a real memory. I didn't hear her say that this isn't your memory.
No, the lady with the
without
the eye socket.
Yeah, she said this is not your memory.
Not
kind of, but
she said it's not him.
Yeah,
she says not his.
She's like, we all wish it was us.
Right,
something along those lines.
Okay, I guess I'm still not really connecting the dots on that one.
It's just he knows it's a female.
Yes,
he knows that it's switched. He knows that it's a real memory that she was able to identify was a real memory.
So
right away.
So she's the only one who does memories for the replicants. pretty much.
I don't know. And they said that he outsources and that all the best memories are hers.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just the best.
She says it's a real memory and that she has to make up all of her other memories, basically, because she hasn't lived.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't mean to bog down on this. I was just some points that were a bit confusing to me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch upon. It looked beautiful. Harrison Ford was great in this too. He was really good.
Was he?
He cried, so he must have been really good because he showed emotion.
I don't know. I don't.
I mean,
Harrison Ford's character. I feel like this movie was written once where they couldn't get Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And then was kind of rewritten once they found out that they could get him. There may be. I wouldn't be surprised if there are two versions of this script out there, one with and one without him.
Yeah, I feel like I would be interested to see how the movie, because there's basically two parts to the movie.
Yeah.
There's the part where it's just Gosling, and then when he goes to Vegas, and then on. I would be interested to see the version of the movie where there's not Harrison Ford, because he was not. I mean, it was definitely cool to have him, but I feel like he wasn't necessary.
He was. Yeah, it was sort of almost just sort of something to get from point A to point B.
Right.
You know, it was almost what do they call that usually?
Not a the. God damn it!
No, you're the one who doesn't know the word.
Well, neither do you.
Well, maybe I do.
So obviously, Gosling's purpose, his purpose in the movie was to, in what we saw was to reunite Deckard with his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What do you think his purpose would have been? Without Harrison Ford, are we freeing his daughter now?
Probably leading a revolution. I'd say maybe more revolution kind of thing. Where I'm kind of glad it didn't go that way. It was more of a personal story like the first one was. It was a little more, because the first one was pretty personal. It didn't really go that far with like revolution with the replicants or anything. But this one kind of started to, and it didn't go anywhere because I was expecting there to be a...
MacGuffin.
A MacGuffin. There you go.
I knew it was the name of the bars at AMC, and I just like.
Oh, you could have just asked me the name of the bars because I do know that they are called.
They're called MacGuffins.
The MacGuffins.
Anyway,
what was I saying?
Talking about revolution.
Yeah. So I thought that they were gonna have some kind of big battle at the end with the new androids against the older Nexus 8 models.
Yeah. It did almost seem like. I mean, it seems like they're teeing up like a revolution movie, but that still would be such a far.
I think it's good to kind of set it up and say this is what it would happen, but you don't need to see it.
Right.
No, and this movie, and it didn't even feel that noir-ish is more than the first one.
Definitely not.
No, I mean it didn't feel like the cop kind of drama like the first one did.
He's definitely like investigating, but it's tonally it's much different.
Yes.
Can we talk about Jared Leto for a bit?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I thought he was pretty.
Yeah.
I thought he was fine.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there is a reason for his madness on set.
He have madness on set this time, and
he blinded himself when he didn't have to. The director said he didn't have to, and he put in contacts and was actually blind.
Yeah, those ones he was wearing during like when you see him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think he can see anything.
Right.
I guess that's method acting. That's what.
But he is able to see. He uses robots to see.
Oh, he is able to see. Yeah,
that's his thing.
Oh, okay.
Like,
the robots
in the movie, he puts it in, and then like those robots kind of scan everything.
Yeah.
Also, Jared, you're in 2 scenes in the whole movie.
Right.
You can act blind for 2 scenes.
Right.
Without actually blinding yourself for weeks.
I think that he. The first scene, I felt like he had. You went back and watched it kind of after we talked about this. He kind of has like a weird accent.
Yeah.
In the first one, in the first scene, it reminds me a lot of Jupiter Ascending and that crazy performance. But then the next one, he was fine and was a lot more straightforward. I thought he said a lot of cool things in his first scene. Eddie Redmayne's performance in Jupiter Ascending, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Which is insane. If you're gonna watch Jupiter Ascending, if you're able to do it, just kind of fast forward to only the Eddie Redmayne scenes. It's nuts. It is garbage. It's like the worst acting I've seen
I'm excited.
ever.
Isn't there a lot of rollerblading in Jupiter Ascending?
Yeah, that's what Channing Tatum's character. He's like part dog and rollerblade. Has like some fancy space blades that let him do it. But anyway, Jared Leto's like reasoning for why he wants replicants.
It's all over the place.
Replicants to repopulate
because he can't possibly produce enough to because he wants to basically take over every planet.
Right.
And there's not the means to produce them.
Right.
Just like at his factory or whatever.
So
he's got to get them to start boning.
I think it would be a stronger choice if he just had like way more of a god complex.
Yes, because it was setting up to be that way, then not really.
He does, and that's part of it. But they kind of explain it where he does. But if he was just so dedicated to making a perfect copy of a human, I think that's a more interesting character than I just kind of want to expand. That's one thing that I say about him. I don't know. I think it would be a better like villain choice.
And why were they going off-world to torture him? That just seemed like kind of a way to get them out of there, honestly, too.
Yeah.
Like, all my tools are off-world.
Yeah.
And, it kind of seemed just a way to kind of get Harrison Ford out so Gosling can save him.
Yeah.
Because, they got this big fortress. There's plenty of stuff you could probably use in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
As far as villains, though, I thought the lady replicant who was basically like the henchman.
Right.
I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah, I liked her.
She was really good.
She
also fought only using spin kicks.
Yes.
That's her go-to move.
I'm all in favor of spin kicks.
Yeah.
What did you think about the CGI Rachel? You and me talked about this, Adam, for a while, but what did you think?
I thought it looked pretty good. I mean, I knew it was coming.
Right.
I thought it worked, and they weren't really. She was only there for a little bit, and I thought it was kind of neat.
I think she could have been there less, especially the way they shot it, where it's so dark and it would kind of like flash in between.
Yeah.
From that, like seeing her silhouette is really cool. I thought her face looked great, and she did it. The second she started talking, her mouth.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Her mouth's weird, and it's got the way the lips like kind of stick and stuff, where they're trying to do things to make it look real, but there's uncanny valley stuff. It looks a million times better than when they try to do the same thing in Rogue One.
Yeah. But you know what it doesn't look better than? The Paul Walker CGI face, because I cannot find the scenes where Paul Walker was not actually acting in Fast 7, so
yeah.
R.I.P.
That was I mean,
just get the Fast crew.
Fast wins again.
Fast does win again.
If they would have gotten Paul Walker's brother to walk in wearing those shoulder pads, and then they just put her face. Yeah, he's the go-to dude. Andy Serkis. He's the Andy Serkis of face replacement.
CGI layover. Yeah.
So, why do you think this movie's not doing so well?
I think it's just kind of hard to define what it is, and what about it is kind of good. And the things that do that, it makes it sound like pretentious film. And
Mike Soroy did a whole review of it on Cirque du Soleil, and he panned it.
He didn't see the original, though, did he?
No.
I know he didn't like it, but I don't. What did he say specifically?
Well, he said it was so in love with itself. He didn't know what the hell was going on the whole time. He was bored. It was too long. All sort of the arguments you hear people that don't like it say, pretty much. And it's, and I don't want to be the guy who's like, well, people are stupid, because that's very short-sighted to say that.
I don't think you need to be a smart person to enjoy this movie.
No, I agree too. No, you don't have to be. But like, I think there are just people who don't, we appreciate the great cinematics, but there's some people that don't. And that's just people.
That's fine.
It's your average moviegoer, probably doesn't care. They want
Right.
more of the CGI.
100%.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. It's weird looking at lists.
I think what it is there, especially in like the original Blade Runner in this, they kind of just bring up big points and they don't repeat them
Yes.
and say like, oh, this is my driving force. This is where there's constantly a reinforcement of this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. It's the motivations and stuff for characters can just kind of be brought up offhand and you're expected. And so if you're not like a totally engaged viewer, then it can be kind of hard to focus in and be like, okay, this is what's important, this is what's not. Like they have a big whole wall of text at the top, and it can be hard to get into a movie that way.
They did kind of every now and then kind of go back and repeat some like audio, like
right. They did. Yeah. They had the flashbacks near the end, which are helpful. But like it's also a kind of a concept. So, okay, so there's these new copies of humans, and they're going and they're killing old copies of humans. So is he a good copy? Is he a bad copy? And they want this. So is this or is this like it's? I can see how that's confusing for people.
And I think you need to see the first one before seeing this. 100%.
Almost every main plot point of the movie is predicated on having seen the original. Because if you don't know what a Blade Runner is, like that last line from the wall of text is they're still called Blade Runners.
Right.
It's like I don't know what that means.
What is that?
Yeah, and the whole thing is, he's investigating this woman who's gone missing, and you hear a little bit of the text, but you don't know anything about the replicant, not gone missing, but the replicant that was the bones that they found.
Right.
Everything is predicated on having seen the original, and nobody saw the original, like at least in theaters. Obviously, it's like a cult classic.
Yeah.
Yes, Lexi.
I do have a question.
What's up?
Do you think that this movie was made for people that saw the original, or do you think it was made for the masses?
It's hard to say because when I mentioned earlier, this wasn't Force Awakens where it was trying to harken back.
Yeah.
But I think it was made as a sequel for the original. So I think it was made for the masses, but I think it was made for people who had seen the first one.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily, and I tweeted this out, I could see 100 movies set in this world.
Yeah.
That city, just the whole world. I could see 100 movies set in that world. Doesn't have to have Bruce Willis, or not Bruce Willis.
Could have Bruce
Could
Willis.
have Bruce Willis. That'd be cool.
It would be great.
It doesn't have to have Bruce Willis at all. I don't know why it would.
I don't know. It doesn't have to have Harrison Ford or Ryan Gosling or any of them in there. I could see 100 movies set in a world like that, or that world.
Yeah.
But what was I even saying? Bruce Willis pulled me out.
All right. Well, if I think that I think the movie was written as a direct sequel.
Yes.
And it was more intended to be a sequel. I think that a lot of casting decisions were made to try to bridge the gap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could see that. And I thought the city looked amazing. It wasn't as dirty and grimy.
Well, in the very beginning, in the first time you see it,
when they're showing the slums.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess it's snowing because when I first saw it, I thought it was ash and just like grime and stuff falling, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. It's just this thing. And then the more they showed it, the more I thought it was snow.
Yeah.
Because they went to more places, and I was like, oh, well, that's not quite as fun.
Yeah.
But
I also feel like there's a lot less. There are a lot fewer scenes that take place kind of in the streets of LA in this movie.
Yeah, it's definitely a much bigger world.
Yes.
And even though the scenes that they do have in LA capture the kind of claustrophobic nature that is throughout the first one.
You have ads literally jumping
I
out
love
and
that.
talking
Yes.
at you.
And I think that's just it, because it did a good job of advancing the technology from the first movie 30 years, but it also kind of nodded at sort of where we're going with ads everywhere and stuff like that. Like the food, you just put your hand up on the fun image of the food and you get the fun food.
You get what you want.
Yeah. Like I could definitely see that happening in 10 years
or
5 years.
Or that like mush he makes in his apartment with like the steak dinner overlaid.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
That is bizarre.
Why are they so into 50s stuff?
At Vegas?
And the whole time he's listening to like Frank Sinatra.
I don't know.
That might be he's listening to Frank because he's got those memories. It's like kind of he's built with memories that are kind of to make him like who he thinks is his dad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just think it's like, hey, I'm really into big band music.
I see the 50s stuff just because of Vegas and the big acts, with Elvis and Frank Sinatra, or Frank Sinatra was big in Vegas. I saw it from that viewpoint for the Vegas stuff, but I guess as far as everything else, I don't know. Again, I can't tell you how much I love the Vegas stuff. It was so cool.
I thought Vegas was the coolest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Part
I think
of
that's the
movie.
coolest part of it.
Yeah.
So Harrison Ford eventually decides he's like, hey, you're cool, after he just like openly just punches him in the face like 4 times, and he's like, oh, he's not gonna punch me back. This guy, let's go have a drink.
It's Harrison Ford, man.
That's worked for me before.
Yeah.
So.
If you're gonna do it. And then they go, bad people come, they're being chased. Harrison Ford runs through the door. Ryan Gosling runs through a fucking wall.
Yeah.
That is my favorite scene. I thought that was awesome. It's because he locks the door. Oh gosh, what's he going to do? You don't think he's going to jump through that wall, but damn it, he jumps through that wall.
I also don't think it's that necessary. There's
No,
a door
it's
right
not.
there.
It's not necessary, and that's why I loved it.
And it's like he's never really like hulks out ever. He's bleeding constantly throughout this movie.
He's always
Where,
bleeding.
like he's strong, but he gets beat up a lot for a strong dude.
But that's the same thing happened to Harrison Ford in the original. Harrison Ford was constantly getting his butt kicked.
Right.
Every movie he does, he constantly gets his butt kicked. Even Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I think those are the best parts of Indiana Jones, honestly, where he's getting his ass kicked and then he comes back fighting.
Yeah.
It humanizes him.
Yeah.
So, and I thought it's weird that he just wore a gray T-shirt.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird.
What
Just
are
like-
you doing, man?
Costume, come
like,
on, man.
nah,
Everyone's wearing cool trench coats.
Right, yeah.
Just want a T-shirt.
Speaking of, Ryan Gosling loves wearing jackets.
He does. He's the jacket man.
In all his movies, he's got to have some sort of cool, iconic jacket.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's just got a real like hard on for being everyone's Halloween costume.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like got to make this look very unique
Mm-hmm.
and iconic, so people can dress like me for Halloween.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are jackets the one thing that are cool in movies and not cool in real life? Because if you just saw someone wearing a biker jacket, you think they're a big jerk.
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
Well, some people can look very cool.
Like,
some people look like jerks.
If Austin Guttery starts wearing biker jackets, like what would you say?
Well,
Cool?
I would be like, why are you wearing shorts with a biker jacket?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think trench coats and jackets and like fedoras
Well, yeah.
are like the 3 kind of things that are cool in movies and not cool in real life.
What? Not
Wait,
cool.
in which movie is the fedora guy the cool one?
Like Freddy Krueger, he's got a good fedora.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that cool hip dude.
Yeah, he's
Everyone's
Freddy
like, everyone's like,
Krueger.
hey, that Freddy, he's cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
start wearing red and green sweaters.
Yeah.
No,
Mark's laughing at us.
and trench coats as well.
Like the Matrix, bro.
I don't.
Neo.
Right,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, Adam's favorite thing really ruined trench coats for everyone.
Yeah, Adam's favorite thing did, man. Way to go.
Oh, are you talking about the TCM?
Talking about Columbine, bro.
Well, yeah, Trenchcoat Mafia.
Oh, yeah, Trenchcoat Mafia. I remember that. I went to the website a few times.
Spectre Gadget can pull it off too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he can.
looks,
Or the Pink Panther.
Yeah.
yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Or 2 kids on each other's shoulders going into the movies.
1, why is the LAPD still around? And 2, why is it in charge of keeping
Everything?
everything under
Yeah,
wraps
that
and
was-
keeping society from falling apart?
That's what. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
It just
I mean,
seems
that's 40 years in the future. Things will. There's no way to know how things have
LA
changed.
is now the capital of the world,
Yeah.
like the Hollywood libs want it to be.
And Atari's still around.
I did like that. I thought
Yeah.
there was a Pan Am ad too.
Yeah.
Like
It's like the things they showed in
Yeah.
in 2018. It's like, well, these
Yeah.
are still around. I guess
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
missed a couple of these calls, but we're gonna stick with them.
yeah, because it's 30 years from that version of 2019, not
Yeah.
whatever.
I enjoyed
whatever
that.
we see
It's-
it.
It's fun.
But there's also a lot of cool, like there's a ton of, I don't know, like solar panels.
yeah,
And-
that first shot was solar panels, right?
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure, yeah. And there's a lot of cool, interesting little like the way they view the world.
Yeah,
almost where like future technology things, whether it's Joy, who is whatever. Like I could totally see that being a thing.
Oh yeah, Alexa's already a thing.
Well, especially now they have technology where, you know, if you just have like 40 minutes of footage of someone talking or, you know, their voice, like they have it where you can just make whoever say whatever in real time.
They had a bad radio reports on that.
That's exactly what I'm referring to. It's super spooky, and like that's coming soon. The girl who played the like hooker,
yes,
who looked like exactly like Katy Perry.
Yeah.
She, if you recognize her, her name's Mackenzie Davis. She's from the San Junipero episode of Black Mirror.
She was the dork.
She was the dork in that, and then she's also in the AMC great TV show *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Oh, the not Silicon Valley show.
Yeah, it's like IBM or Texas Instruments in the early days, and they're like computer nerds. It's basically one of the worst rated shows of all times.
Oh no!
But AMC's kept it around for 3 years.
Nice,
because they like. Apparently, it's supposed to be pretty decent
ratings, baby.
Who needs them?
Yeah. So after this movie, do you think Deckard is a replicant?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about.
That's one thing is they never address it.
No.
So when they get to Vegas, it's supposed to be a toxic wasteland of radiation, but the little scout kind of drone says that radiation levels are normal.
Right.
But people still aren't there.
Right. It's almost like people don't go hang out in Chernobyl.
Right. So it's not. Because what we were wondering is like, okay, so Ryan Gosling is a replicant, so he can survive. He can go through Vegas fine. But I'm guessing the radiation levels are normal, so Harrison Ford is. It's not. You can't necessarily draw that conclusion that Harrison Ford is a.
Why does he put his hand in the bee thing?
I don't know, but I'm just glad to know that bees are still around in 2049.
Yeah.
Oh right, he's right. He's probably never seen bees.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's a good point.
Okay, I like that point, Lexi. You should be on the podcast.
I think, if anything, it almost makes Harrison Ford seem more human. Like, I get what you're saying.
I'm with you, too, though. I kind of...
the same...
Because they're so focused on, like, what made Rachel special and what made... And what, like, the child is needed.
I feel like it makes him more like a replicant because they want to, like, dissect him. Oh, wait, no. They just want to know where the child is. They're not interested in dissecting him.
Right.
I think also is because the Nexus 6 models that was the first one, right? Nexus 6?
I think so,
or 7? They only had 4-year lifespans, and then after that, they made replicants with normal lifespans.
Right.
And Harrison Ford aged, obviously.
Yeah.
And so he can't be a replicant unless he's in other experiments, that they did with the longer lifespan.
Yeah.
So
I'm leaning human.
I'm leaning human too, but I like that they left it ambiguous.
Yeah, they didn't straight up. They kind of start having the conversation. He's like, it doesn't matter if I'm human or if I'm, a replicant. He doesn't say that exactly. How about that awesome Ryan Gosling test thing that he has to do to see if he's doing?
I thought
that's
that
just
was
like an awesome movie sequence.
I agree. I liked it. It's kind of it's a bit intense. It's kind of I felt very nervous watching. Not nervous, but just kind of oh, this is kind of nerve-wracking. Yeah, a little bit.
So it's based around. It's from Nabokov, who is like a Russian novelist. Right, and it says cells interlinked within one stem. And dreadfully distinct against the dark, a tall white fountain played.
What's that? I guess, what does that even mean?
You couldn't tell?
No. What? Oh, God.
Oh.
Yeah. So then they go,
Normie.
and then they call out, what? Freaking dweeb, you don't even know your philosophy.
I'm sorry, I was waving at Matt Birmingham. Can you explain that again? So wait, what's it from
it's,
again? It's just a philosophy thing?
Yeah, cells interlinked within one stem and dreadfully distinct against the dark, a tall white fountain play.
All right, explain what that means now in 10 seconds. 9. 8,
Trey,
7,
if you don't get that, I
6,
can't make it any
5,
simpler than that is
4,
already.
3, 2, and 1. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was a cool sequence.
How many lives and halves, Trey?
Let's do a let's do 4.5 lav and halves.
Okay.
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5 is also what I was planning to give it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give it a 4.5 1.
4.5
Okay.
I liked it the most.
Did you like it more or less than the original? I think it's hard to say.
I liked it more than the original.
I enjoyed it.
I think it
more than
like without the original, I don't think it would be as enjoyable.
Right.
But I think it's a really good sequel in interpretation and like being able to take that world and make something new out of it. I think it was a really great sequel and how a sequel should be done.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting to see in like I said, 82. So what? That was 35 years ago.
Yeah.
So in 35 years,
they make another one.
Like, so Blade Runner, like I said last week, Blade Runner holds up as far as the visual effects are concerned. For me, like obviously there are some things that are not as great, but it's so impressive, the visual effects from 82.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see with the rate at which visual effects capabilities are progressing in movies to see how this looks in 35 years.
Well, let's check out the podcast where we talk about this in 35 years.
Yeah, we should be on episode.
Ooh.
I'll have seen 1,000 movies by then.
Yeah, you'll
for
see
sure.
1,000. I was also surprised they never went off world in this either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought they would, but we didn't, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say because Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies of all time. There are parts of this I like better than the first one, and then there are parts of the first one I like better than this. So it's I can't tell you. I it's a very hard thing to say which is better for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think visually this one's better. I think story wise maybe the first one's better. But
I would agree with that.
Yeah. All right, guys. There's only one Twitter question, and since
let's answer it then.
Actually two. Matt Birmingham asks, "What's up?"
Well, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've just been working all.
You had a busy day today, man. You
Yeah.
did 2 shows. Now you're doing this.
2 shows after a day that started at 3:30 the day before.
Jeez. In the morning?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
Nope, it started at 3:30 p.m.
You guys are jerks.
Complaining about
you guys are jerks. Big jerks.
Well, I can tell you what's not up.
Yeah.
My cholesterol, because we've been eating good.
Yeah.
Because I failed every single one of my heart health and stroke risk tests for my wellness screening.
That's nice.
I didn't fail. I was in the yellow, in the medium risk zone for all of them.
He has a chocolate bar right in front of him.
Jeez.
Yeah, I've earned this.
Don't die on us, okay?
And a water.
All right,
Trey, what's up?
I hope you guys are safe. I saw Blade Runner twice. You want to talk about it? And Chris the Field says, "Hey, Trey and Adam, do I need to see the original Blade Runner before 2049? Also, if yes, did that hurt the movie's success?" You weren't listening to the podcast. We talked about all that, Chris. I would listen better.
I would say I would suggest watching it, but I don't think it's super necessary.
I'd say you can, if you really don't want to watch it, you can read the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Just to get the backstory. Just understanding why they're doing what they're doing.
Yes.
I would say I highly recommend watching the first one, but if you really don't want to, just research it.
I think you have to, if you don't, you have to go in being like, all right, I have to focus.
Yes.
During this movie.
Well, thanks guys for coming on once again. We'll probably do some Halloween episodes coming up.
Yeah. Talk about some.
Oh yeah, send those spooky movie recos.
Yeah, tell us what kind of spooky
Twitter.
movies you want us to watch and talk about. Adam, where can we find you in the world?
Hit me up on my Venmo at Adam Fullerton.
Mm-hmm. Anywhere else?
On Twitter at the Fullertron.
All right, Spencer, where can we find you?
You can invite me to your kid's birthday party at Spencer at supercast64.com.
Okay. Okay, and I'm Trey. You can find me at CrayTreyVids. Please, smash that like button. Smash it.
Smash it.
Trey,
Smash it.
you need that like button to stay there so other people can use it and like it as well.
Just smash it.
Don't
Amen.
smash it.
And
Like
subscribe too.
Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Paste it all over Reddit. Show all your friends. We're on YouTube, Super FilmsCast 64 and Super Gamescast 64. You can also find me on Twitter at CrayTreyVids. You got to follow. You got to subscribe. You can also go onto my website, TreyTMitchell.com, and you can find all my stuff there because I'm a fucking whore. Anyway, thank you so much for listening.
DMs.
Slide into the DMs. Thanks again for listening. Have a great rest of your week. Cowboys suck. Goodbye.
Like tears in the rain, this podcast is over.
It's called a road, it's called the Rainbow Road. It is a road that you go. It's a road, it's called the Rainbow Road. And we will know when you get there. It's called a road, it's called the Rainbow Road. It is a road that you go. It's a road that you go when you die. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's a road we're all gonna go. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's got Princess Peach, Mario, and Toad. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's a road we're all gonna go. It's Rainbow Road. It's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I'm with you again, Uncle. It's Rainbow Road, it's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I miss you again, Uncle. Oh, Rainbow Road. Where did you learn the song? It's called the road, it's called the Rainbow Road. It is a road that you go. It's called a road, it's called a Rainbow Road.
What's that song from?
And you will.
Rainbow Road. I mean.